Hello, this message is for Mitch the Orgone donor. This is Klepton McMoonlanding, Executive Senior Customer Service Manager for the Galactic Federation of QAnon. I'm calling in response to your latest video highlighting recent hurricane events and what you call the Frequency Fence Network, which manipulates and controls this entire three-dimensional realm and its cosmic and multi-dimensional connections to the ether, biological life, and the source of creation, hurricanes included. Much like our quest to spread the truth to re-elect President Trump, we appreciate your critical examination of reality, including your views that even though many humans across the planet claim to be experiencing less chemtrail activity in their skies this past year, that it absolutely is not the result of some New Age 5D ascension bullshit, and in actuality, the cataclysmic levels of weather destruction and the progression of the climate hoax will only continue, because the entities responsible for chemtrails in the first place have advanced their demonically controlled AI technology like a terminal cancer to a point where chemtrails are no longer necessary to accomplish the same goal of manipulating the weather and all of reality. You also emphasize that nearly all easily accessible and mainstream available sources for geoengineering information are a psyop, like the US Patent and Trademark Office, or news articles about Bill Gates blocking the sun, or cloud seeding experiments taking place in Dubai, as this further just controls the narrative so that the humans never pause long enough to confront deeper, uncomfortable truths about this matrix, and ask questions like, why the hell am I allowed to know this information in the first place, in a reality that offers nothing but deception and lies? Or, what in the literal hell is running this show, and how is this enormous scale of agendas even possible if this thing is based on physical human components? You claim the truther movement has been sucked into a hypocrisy hamster wheel, claiming the government and media and alphabet agencies like the CIA, CDC, and NASA are evil, deceptive liars, while still trusting the exact same government, media, and elite science entities who scare them with stories about being sprayed with Aquanet concoctions of aluminum, barium, and strontium from the backs of airplanes since the 1940s, because apparently the 1940s is when technology and evil were invented, and everything prior to that was the Stone Age. And so, truthers get herded back into the barn to advocate for more overlord systems by voting to ban chemtrails and essentially voting for the same goddamn government to stop itself from doing this to itself. Or worse, they sit around waiting for a savior that never arrives, all while never realizing the human components like governments and military and essentially the modern day information about chemtrails and patents that just happens to be magically available and easily accessible in the first place doesn't actually answer a single goddamn question about the true mechanics of this reality, because reality is a magical place based on frequency, energy, and vibration, and its connection to the ether and human consciousness. Really, Mitch, these are some extremely divisive viewpoints, and most people hearing you say this for the first time would probably question it, if not deny it completely or argue with you to the death. Although these views that you share obviously can't be fully explained or illustrated through some lazy and cliche plot device like delivering exposition through a voicemail or answering machine via some voiceover from a secondary character story arc, and therefore any legitimate truth-seeking human would hear these viewpoints and then respectfully reserve their commentaries and criticisms until further exploring the actual presentations where you discuss these rabbit holes in a structured and elaborate detail with open-minded logic, discernment, and intuition, perhaps starting with the Encyclopedia and Library of Information, interviews and presentations on your website, theorgonedonor.com, unless of course they're just a butthurt douchebag who hates your views about reality and your goal to encourage humans to think bigger. Anywho, our Director of Operations, John F. Kennedy Jr., asked me to reach out to you regarding your comments about fewer chemtrails in the sky so that we can share with you the actual truth and clarify exactly why so many people across the Earth claim to be seeing fewer chemtrails in the sky over the last year. And that is because Trump and the White Hats have taken out the majority of chemtrail pilots, resulting in staffing issues where the evil cabal can't find enough qualified pilots to fly their chemtrail planes anymore. And I mean, as Executive Senior Customer Service Manager of the Galactic Federation and someone with a master's degree in human resources, I can assure you the evil cabal is very much in panic mode right now as it struggles to find the staffing for its fleet of chemtrail pilots. I remember myself being in panic mode back in 2020 when we were short-staffed for our 10 Days of Darkness and A Calm Before the Storm, when President Trump was working on 5G expansion across the US and we were hiding Kofafi in every 5G tower being constructed so that by the end of 2025, when every square inch of the entire planet would be covered with 5G towers and HARP weapons, we could then remotely disable the dangerous Chinese 5G and reinstall the American 5G, which we're totally gonna do, but we can't do it yet because reasons and shut up. However, we do plan to do a major Q drop with these updates right after the election, when we also initiate Project Nasera Jacera, now that we have control over the Federal Reserve and we're going to wipe all debt from mankind and get rid of the monetary system, even though the fabric of this 3D reality is literally sewn together and controlled by currency, debt, wealth, and materialism, I mean abundance. We're also working around the clock to find and release millions of missing children Federation as we bust every underground military base and set the children free, just like we've been doing for the last decade, even though no record of any child has ever been found and no families are ever interviewed or reported on the news showing that they've been reunited. You know, because that would exist if children were actually being saved by the White Hats. Anywho, we think your views, and specifically your frequency fence video, could disrupt more important things like voting for Donald Trump so that we can make America great again and finally stop the evil cabal, something we fear might not be possible if your views about reality manipulation via the frequency fence are shared too openly, and then chain reaction into higher level thinking in which humans finally question literally everything about their existence, including questioning us and the savior we're trying to provide. And frankly, it just doesn't seem fair to humans to overwhelm them with that opportunity to question everything right before the election. It's also really important right now that American patriots focus their attention on what we're doing behind the scenes to restore freedom. Like the other day when Donald Trump made an appearance flipping burgers and french fries at McDonald's. You see, to most unsuspecting Americans, this just looked like a publicity stunt to troll Kamala Harris, because humans love a good train wreck, even when they say they don't like the drama, but you just know every aspect of their lives is completely about drama, just like those snobby assholes who have to remind you they don't own a TV even though they literally live on the internet watching podcasts and conspiracy videos 24 hours a day. Also, the illusion of the candidates trolling each other basically implies that the political parties aren't just products of the same overlord system designed to make humans voluntarily forfeit their absolute sovereignty because they think there's actually a freedom of choice to be made. But for those patriots who trust the plan, they know the true reason Trump was at McDonald's the other day, because the White Hats were conducting Operation Grimace, in which they installed new kitchen equipment capable of detecting human DNA in the McDonald's meat supply, which forces the machines to automatically shut down and lock, sending a secret SOS beacon straight to the Federation so that we can move quickly and shut down the evil cabal. Yes, Mitch, that's right. Trump's publicity stunt at McDonald's is actually helping us stop the evil cabal from trafficking children by cutting off their main source of disposing of the evidence. Also, you'll be delighted to know the White Hats are simultaneously conducting Operation Frozen Arches, in which we're replacing all McDonald's ice cream machines with fully functional ones that never break down, essentially making McFlurries great again. And so, on behalf of the Federation, we'd like to offer an incentive for you to keep your views about reality and your frequency fence presentation under wraps by deleting your video or at least setting it to private until after the election when we've had enough time to deliver more freedom to more of humanity. And as a thank you for your cooperation, we'd like to send you our Galactic Gift Patriot Package, which includes two 64-ounce bottles of Liquid Plumber Drain the Swamp Drain Cleaner, one Blu-ray and DVD combo of The Sound of Freedom, one professional-grade EMP and solar flare protector for your iPhone 5C, and a special collector's edition Lego set of the US border wall. On behalf of the Galactic Federation and our Trust the Plan family, we thank you for your continued cooperation and have a great day. Bye-bye.